choosing the right kind of brands is also very important. So you chose Brixton and VLF to come in India.
Brixton was a brand which really filled that particular gap which is there in the current market. So which is why we thought of going with Brixton. And again, being an Austrian brand, they are known for their engineering and designing. So
they're brilliant with it. So
yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
we thought Brixton would be the right brand for us to start with. If you see the current electric industry in India, you have all these typical design boxy scooters in the market. With VLF, we really want to break that barrier and we want to give something to the customers where that would really stand out in terms of quality, in terms of design, and again, in terms of pricing, we want to be in par with the competition, but give something different at the same time to the customer.
Correct.
For example, if they want to go for a long journey, if they want to ride probably 1,000 kilometers at a stretch, then I understand, I know what the pain points are. A lot of bikes or scooters catching fire, particularly in the EV segment. A lot of quality issues, especially the scooters, because a scooter is something which you ride on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
We don't have a lot of gizmos in the product. If you see today, the entire automotive market has become more of a feature-oriented market.
Correct.
We want to offer a product which is durable. We want to give features which are necessary, which are used basically.
Correct.
Or else you'll find certain scooters or certain brands offering a speaker on their product. I don't know where you're going to use that. So we don't want to do that. Our focus is to give the best, to make sure that the features are practical, which can be used on a day-to-day basis.
What are the 3 points you'd like to say that these are necessity from the other, the public sector to come, so that the private and public sector can work hand in hand in terms of EV? Hello.
Hi.
Lovely coming here and meeting you.
Same
I was
here. Thank
really
you for coming.
excited. We were planning this since a month, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's finally just...
Yeah, finally it's happening.
Finally it's happening. Oh, this looks like a wall.
Yeah, it is more of a brand wall. So we have 2-3 brands. So we've just put it's more of a legacy wall, which shows the history of the brands.
But I think it's the heritage, Motohaus has been, pioneers and all that, na?
Yes. So every brand has its own history and legacy. So we would want that to be shown to the people.
Yeah, because this has history. Brixton has history.
Every brand has a history, legacy. So one is Austrian, one is Italian. So every brand is different from the other. One
looks
is
like that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's an interesting unit, and tell me more about this.
Yeah, so we are in the phase of setting up the factory right now.
Yeah.
So as you can see, one by one all the equipments are coming in, because our plan is to launch in the festive season. So before that, right now we're just making sure the entire assembly line
is coming.
All the testing equipments and the endurance, a lot of things that have to be done before we actually have the products in the market. So we're just getting
But I feel that yours is the only brand. I've seen a lot of brands over here, but yours is the only brand who is into entire manufacturing. I mean, like, either there are dealers or either there are this thing, but it's like crazy to see that you are just going from like 0.0 to 100.
Yes, in fact, I would say, if we talk particularly about Kolhapur, yes, this would be the first proper manufacturing unit for a two-wheeler in Kolhapur.
That's amazing.
As I said, we are currently in the setting up phase. So, manpower.
Hiring, again, training the manpower, getting all the equipment set.
So you are also not just getting the whole manufacturing setup, but you are also generating employment over here.
Absolutely. In fact, for Kolhapur, as I said, we will be the first OEMs in Kolhapur. So that would definitely benefit not just from the employment perspective, but also the whole industry, the engineering colleges also.
Exactly, because there are like multiple colleges
colleges are there, and for them also hands-on experience. They can come, probably conduct field visits to see how actually a vehicle is done. Probably you can say more than 2,000 components coming together. How do they come together? So that would definitely be a hands-on practical experience for the engineering students as well.
No, especially because you're just moving forward in a fast-paced area. And like you said, like while we were chatting, you said Gen Zs are somebody who are really investing and the whole craze around this is increasing.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea for people to actually see what's happening. And
Yes.
it's amazing to see how you are developing
I think
the
this
whole
is
segment,
more of a first-hand look. You're the first one who's come to the factory. So
I think we're very lucky to be the first ones to shoot this.
we have brands, as I said, which has
Yeah.
their own legacy history. Our quality, our product itself is going to stand out to what is currently available in the market.
Correct.
And to make sure, we're going to maintain the same standards here again in India. So not like because these are European brands, in Europe the quality standard is different, here in India it's different, so it's not going to happen that way.
Yeah.
What people are getting in the global market, we're going to make
Definitely.
sure that the same is delivered here again to the Indian consumer.
I think even better. Not just that, even better standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. So I just want to chat more with you. So we are finally seated and I am excited to know more about this. So tell me, Tushar, that what inspired you to get involved in a segment like a two-wheeler or super bikes or EV, given that you have a very rich history in engineering from your family. So tell me more about it.
Yeah, so talking about my family, we have, our core is manufacturing.
Yeah.
So I'm the fourth generation. So the manufacturing, we're primarily into the sugar machinery manufacturing, which was in fact that company, our main company was started by my great grandfather back in 1962. We can say we were one of the first industries to get set up in Kolhapur back then.
And I think coal also, like, talk more.
Yeah.
Coal
So my
one.
great grandfather, he's popularly known as Mahatma Mistri in Kolhapur. So he was the one of the first ones who developed the coal engine for the oil for the water pumping, and also he was the first ones who developed the Firta Rangmancha. So back then, during the World War II, he was felicitated by. So in fact, Jawaharlal Nehru came to Kolhapur to specifically felicitate him for his work in the engineering segment or engineering industry. Post that, if you ask about me, I have always been passionate about the automotive industry.
Yeah.
We have been dealers for certain brands since the last 8-9 years. So while we were talking earlier, as I said, we have experience in the retail industry. We also, our primary is manufacturing, so we have experience in the manufacturing industry as well. So then what's next? So we thought, in fact, that always has been a vision for me to get into manufacturing of two-wheelers, to do something different for the city, of course, because Kolhapur, my family has been in Kolhapur since a very long time. We have our roots deep in the city. So we wanted to do something different for the city again, get something different, do something different, which is why we thought of venturing into the manufacturing part of the automobiles.
That's amazing. And I feel that usually what you see while you are observing the fourth generations and everything, they are dealing with another set of challenges or they are dealing with another set of issues because their entire previous generations have seen the growth. But like he said, that what's next is something they have to do. And I am so happy to see that there is something which is innovative happening over here. So why did you choose Kolhapur as a base for production of this entire thing? I just really want to delve deeper into the whole facet of getting this involved in Kolhapur, especially.
To answer your question, Kolhapur, why we chose, see, first of all, if you look at the entire automotive industry, the OEMs, in Maharashtra, you'll find it more in Pune, other parts of the country. Kolhapur, as I said, our roots are in Kolhapur. We really wanted to do something different for the city also. We wanted to generate employment. We wanted to give. We want to make sure that Kolhapur is also known on a global platform. It had obviously been a challenge for us to get these brands to India. That's first.
Absolutely.
And second was to get these brands to Kolhapur. Because even when we were talking with the company, with our headquarters, they didn't know where Kolhapur is on the map, honestly. Our initial thoughts or our initial plans were to set up the factory in Pune, because from the logistics perspective or even for finding the right manpower, it's more easy for us to do it in
Correct.
Pune rather than Kolhapur. But then again, we gave it a thought that if we don't do something for Kolhapur now, then in the future, no other big brand will come to Kolhapur. So which is why we thought, let's do it in Kolhapur. Yes, it would be a challenge for us to get the right manpower for the assembly, for manufacturing. But then I think it would be worth it, because then we would really create something, some unique opportunities for the young engineers who are coming out from the local colleges. We would give a lot of boost to the city as well, because I think we have good airport connectivity now in Kolhapur. We have major connectivity with major cities from the flight perspective. So again, from the city wise, it's developing. So then that's why we thought, let's do it in Kolhapur.
That's amazing. I want to ask a very different question to you. While we are talking, I understand that you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur. But what I get to see when I'm talking to you is that you have a very social reform mindset also. Is it something which comes from your family, because you want to create permanent change makers? Usually business owners want to make their job easy and get the profits out of it. But you have specifically 2-3 times mentioned that I want to make Kolhapur big. I want the next generation of Kolhapur to be the next big thing in the market. So where does it come from?
As I said, we have our roots in Kolhapur, so we obviously have an emotional attachment with the city, with the people. In fact, after roaming around the world, I've been to so many places. I've seen other manufacturing facilities. So the thought process was, why can't something like this be in Kolhapur? From the resources point of view, we have everything in Kolhapur. We have water, we have everything.
Yes.
I mean, we are surrounded by rivers. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of good manpower. In fact, if you see today, as Kolhapur, with the JKI manpower engineering students, when they pass out, they usually move to Pune, Mumbai, or other cities, because they don't have opportunities here.
True.
So we thought that by doing this, we would in fact again bring back the talent which has gone out of Kolhapur back to Kolhapur. And in fact, this has been a plus point for them also, because for them also, coming back to their hometown, staying close with the family would again be more comfortable for them.
Absolutely.
And with a project like this, this is really happening. In fact, we are currently in the hiring stage. So as I said, we are setting up the factory, we're getting everything done. So even the resumes that we're getting, the other ones.
Talk about the numbers. How many?
Yeah, we in fact we did a walk-in. We had a walk-in drive a few days back for the assembly factory manpower, and to our surprise, we got more than 1,500 applications.
That's a big sign.
In a day.
Yeah.
We were expecting that around 100, 150, 200 will come. But then that day it was, it was crazy. We had over 1,500
It must be your happiest day, because, whatever you are envisioning with your team, you just saw the example of it happening right in front. So
absolutely. And
that's a good sign.
In fact, again, why choosing Kolhapur? Because as we spoke about my great-grandfather, I really want to bring back that legacy back by doing something different for the family, of course, and again, most importantly, for the city. So that was the entire thought process of why we chose Kolhapur. In spite of we would be coming across so many challenges, but then that's a part of it. But then once it kickstarts, that would really give a boost to the city.
Yeah, and it will set a right example for others to follow. So I feel that's
absolutely.
great.
Absolutely.
Moving back to the entrepreneurial side of you, choosing the right kind of brands is also very important. So you chose Brixton and VLF to come in India.
Yeah.
Why so?
So in fact, this project, we started working on this project since the last 4 years. Choosing the right brand had always is probably the key factor for the success.
Yeah.
We were in contact with Brixton for the last 4 years. We really had a lot of discussions going in and out. Their team visited India. We went back to Austria. We tested the products. Then we decided, okay, fine. These products would be suitable for our Indian conditions, for our market. Particularly about Brixton, we wanted to get something which is not there in the market, because if you look right now, there's a lot of competition. A lot of big players are there in the market with a lot of products. So what exactly can we bring which is not there. So that is why Brixton was a brand which really filled that particular gap which is there in the current market. So which is why we thought of going with Brixton. And again, being an Austrian brand, they are known for their engineering and designing. So
they're brilliant with it. So
yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
we thought Brixton would be the right brand for us to start with. And with VLF is an Italian electric scooter brand founded by a famous designer, Alessandro Tartarini. So they are known for radical designs. In fact, his father, Alessandro's father, was the one who founded Italjet. So Italjet is one of the most radical looking scooter brand in Italy. So if you see the current electric industry in India, you have all these typical design boxy scooters in the market. With VLF, we really want to break that barrier, and we want to give something to the customers where that would really stand out in terms of quality, in terms of design, and again in terms of pricing. We want to be in par with the competition, but give something different at the same time to the customer.
Correct. And like considering me also, if I want to go and buy anything in the CV segment, I really want to look at the aesthetics, the looks, apart from the specifics and the features of the model. I really want to look like people prefer taking a good looking bike than just going for the multiple options. So it's just like a package and all.
Absolutely. In fact, as I said, currently the current segment of electric scooters particularly, they are more focused towards family. So you'll find boxy designs, typical sort of design. Our target audience is obviously family is going to be one part of it, but then we also want to target the young generation, the Gen Z, as we were talking about. So we want to target those segments by offering a product which would really stand out in terms of everything.
Absolutely. Tell me one thing, that in terms of your partners, how has the support been from these international partners so far for you?
Support, to talk about Brixton first, the support has been really great. As I said, we've been in discussions with Brixton for the last 4 years. They are currently present in over 60 countries in the global market. India is a major market for every two-wheeler manufacturer today. So the same is for Brixton, and we want to be here for a very long time. It's not going to be a short journey. It's going to be a very long journey for us and Brixton in India. And based on that, we've had discussions and what the plan is going to be. So we've divided this project into 2 phases. So phase 1 and phase 2.
Amazing.
So phase 1, as you're sitting right now, where we're sitting, is the phase 1 factory, where we would be starting with the production from the Diwali time. So we're just getting everything set up right now. This would be a pure assembly unit. We'll have a production capacity of close to 25,000-30,000 vehicles annually. So the vehicles would come. So in Brixton we would be launching the 500cc segment and the 1200cc segment to begin with. So we'll have
1200cc.
Yeah. So we'll have 2 bikes in the 500cc segment, and we'll have 2 bikes in the 1200cc segment. This would be phase 1, as I said. These 4 bikes would be manufactured in this factory. Phase 2, we've already acquired the land parcel for the second factory.
Okay.
There it is going to be a joint investment. So both the companies, Brixton and our company, it's going to be more like a joint venture where we would set up an R&D center as well and start developing India specific and Asia specific models. So that is when we will go below 500cc. By then the entire Brixton brand also would be set in India. People will know by then what Brixton really is. We would get the best of the products by then. People would also start trusting the brand, the quality and what the product is, and then we would enter the lower cc segment where we would jointly develop bikes, and then again not just for the Indian market, but then again we would export to the other Asian, Southeast Asian countries.
That's a really great point to say, because it comes with a legacy that they trusted the brand who is going to get them in India. It's a huge potential.
Yes, I think particularly with Brixton and VLF, the entire team is young. So in fact, our thought processes or our ideas match. So that is when that's how it became more easier for us also to convince them to come to India. Their ideologies or their thought process for India and our idea was somewhere it was aligning, and that's how we connected. That's how this partnership went ahead.
And I wish it's like a permanent partnership.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, this is just the beginning. This is phase 1. We really want to stay in the market for a long time. So the plan is to launch by the festive season.
Yeah.
We would be getting these two brands under the Motohaus umbrella. So Motohaus is basically going to be our umbrella brand.
Yeah.
So all the dealerships that you will see pan India
Will be
are
there.
going to be Motohaus dealers.
Yeah.
And under Motohaus, you'll have Brixton and VLF.
Amazing. So what are the unique offerings of Brixton and VLF? To just go a little in detail with it.
Yeah, to start with, I'll talk about VLF first. VLF is a Italian electric company. As I said, the USP would be the quality. If you look at certain competitors and what they're offering today, you see a lot of complaints coming in from customers, a lot of quality issues, a lot of reliability issues. So with VLF, I think we would really address that particular thing because as I showed the endurance scooter, we've clocked more than 15,000 kilometers. I think by the launch we would clock more than 35,000 kilometers on the scooter. We have tested the scooter rigorously on our conditions. Our technical team and the VLF technical team have been in sync. Feedbacks have been shared. Then the solutions have come in. So probably suspension tuning assail, you know, the tires for our road conditions. So we've made sure that everything is suitable for our road conditions. Second, again, would be the design. As I said, once the scooter is launched, I can confidently say that this would be the most good-looking scooter in the market.
Yeah.
So that would really get the attention of the target audience that we are really looking at. With Brixton, as I said, we're getting the 500cc range and above. We're getting the top of the line product because if you look at the global Brixton portfolio, they have more than 17 vehicles.
Correct.
So we have right from 125cc up till 1200cc. But then we don't want to get the 125cc because what happens? 125cc, the moment we get the 125cc, we get into the commuter segment.
Correct.
So then we don't want to get into that because that has already been dominated by bigger players. So we wanted to get what is best. We want to offer what is best. Some unique features which are not there with the competitors, and most importantly with Brixton, once we launch during the festive time, the price would be the major factor. So we would be launching at a very attractive or an aggressive price, especially the 1200 bike. So if you see the 1200cc segment right now, it is upwards of 13-14 lakh rupees. But with the 1200, we really want to set a benchmark in terms of what we are offering as a product and the price.
So what will the price be if we may ask?
I can't reveal that as of now, but
we'll get a...
all I can tell you, we would set a benchmark for the 1200cc in the entire motorcycling segment.
Just check this episode later also. We are going to be the first ones to tell the price of the bike for you. But talking more about the target audience and the customers, how has the experience been for you, and especially the demographics? Like, because you're launching completely like new brands into the market, so how confident are you with this?
So right now we've done the soft PR about the brands coming to India. So I think if you must have seen, we've just announced that Brixton is coming to India. This is what the product range is going to be, and this is what the plan is going to be. Similarly for VLF, we've announced that VLF is coming to India. This is the Tennis would be the first electric scooter, and this is what the plan is going to be. So up till November, we really want to build that
soft.
So we want to make sure that people know what exactly VLF is. We want people to know what Brixton is, because both these brands, one is Austrian, one is Italian. So two different brands, two different categories. One is ICE, one is EV. Every brand has its legacy history. So until launch, we want to make sure that the customers or our target audience is aware about what these brands or where these brands really come from.
Amazing.
So to create that aspirational factor, but then again at the same time, once we launch the brands, the pricing is going to be very attractive. So it's going to be very accessible for everyone. So
I think you've well thought of each and every aspect of getting this. Like, this is not a random decision for you. It looks like you have well read the whole situation, which brands are going to fit well, and let's talk about it in detail more at another location, because we are going to be switching locations and going to have a very interesting podcast today. And thanks to you for this one. So let's go to another location.
Yes, thank you.
So So far, I've been loving this experience in Kolhapur, and the way you guys have organized everything is just stunning. We are at another location, and honestly, I would love to show you the view. We are going to show it later. But it's an experience that I think Kolhapur people are very good at hosting people and a lot of teams from outside, and we've seen that today. So thank you for doing that, and it's stunning the way all of you have been working towards. Now I'm really excited to go into the another segment, which is more about the customer experience, the what is it going to be like in terms of business expansion, then how can other people connect with them and then expand their own vision and start something in collaboration with the company, right? So we are going to get into more details of the setup, and you've already transparently seen what happens behind the scenes at the factory. And right now we are going to see what are the business side of things which are going to help you get in touch with the company and just dream big. So let's get into the questions. So my first question, and these are the questions which are commonly asked by a lot of people.
Okay.
So what is the ride comfort and usability of the both of those segments which you are launching? Let's say like there are long road trips, then there is commuting, then handling challenging terrains. You told about that you've been testing it.
Yeah.
But people still are failing to believe in the durability of the bike because they had bad experiences in the past.
I think particularly, I'll talk individually about first Brixton. So Brixton, as I said, we have been doing a rigorous endurance test for every product. So endurance test has a lot of parameters that are checked. So one of which is again ride comfort and how well the bike can handle our road conditions or our weather conditions. So as I said previously, we have a range of total of 17 products in the global portfolio. If you look at Brixton as a brand, globally they have over 17 products that are sold in over 60 countries. In India, the reason for us to choose the 500cc and above was because the products are very much suitable for our conditions.
Correct.
The products are suitable for our riders or our riding community because me personally, I ride motorcycles. I love riding motorcycles. So I know what exactly the pain points are of a rider, in terms of comfort. Or for example, if they want to go for a long journey, if they want to ride probably 1,000 kilometers at a stretch, then I understand, I know what the pain points are. So for the Brixton 500cc range and above, I think what the feedback that we've been getting from our endurance riders is that the bikes are very comfortable. Our products are going to be very comfortable, super easy to ride in terms of the seat positioning or the handlebar positioning. Both the 500cc range as well as the 1200cc Cromwell range are going to be super easy. We're going to be very much light on the weight because if you saw the 1200cc bike, so your feedback was it's pretty light.
Yes.
So all our bikes are going to be even for the women riders also to take the bike out for a spin or probably ride the bike on occasional basis is going to be very much easy for the women riders as well. So our target audience is not just men for Brixton. It's everyone who loves riding, who wants to get into riding. Probably if a person he's buying a first super bike, they are also our target audience. So it's easy for everyone and anyone.
That's amazing. But you must have had certain research done on the pain points of the customers. So what are those?
So from the pain point perspective, I think a lot of pain points are observed in the EV industry currently today. So you must have seen a lot of bikes or scooters catching fire, particularly in the EV segment. A lot of quality issues, especially the scooters, because a scooter is something which you ride on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
It's a commuter thing, so you use it on a daily basis to commute to your office, your house, or probably you get your groceries. So it's something which you use on a daily basis as compared to superbike. Superbike is something which you use probably occasionally, once in a week or probably alternate day. But then your pain points in the EV industry are a lot as compared to the ICE, because it's a EV technology is evolving, new things are coming, new developments are happening. you see, you'll probably must have come across certain scooters where the TFT display gets, you know,
Yeah.
it stops functioning, or things like that happen. In our case, I think our research was to make sure that we don't have these similar issues repeated on our products, which is why for VLF, I think the scooter is built fantastically.
Yeah.
The quality wise, I can say we would be the best once we launch the product. We don't have a lot of gizmos in the product. If you see today, the entire automotive market has become more of a feature oriented market.
Correct.
If you see cars or even two-wheelers, the companies, they want to give everything and anything. Certain brands are now offering ADAS on a two-wheeler. I mean, I don't know what the use of having an ADAS on a two-wheeler that too in our country is. If you add too many electronics, if you add too many features, then you'll come across a lot of problems.
Correct.
So in our case, I think for VLF, our thought process is clear. We want to offer a product which is durable. We want to give features which are necessary, which are used basically.
Correct.
Or else you'll find certain scooters or certain brands offering a speaker on their product. I don't know where you want to use that. So we don't want to do that. Our focus is to give the best, to make sure that the features are practical, which can be used on a day-to-day basis. So I mean, talking about the product, I would say VLF, we are giving something in terms of quality. We'll be the first ones to offer aluminum swing arm.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
That would make us.
It's not seen before.
It's not there currently in the market in the commuter scooter segment. So that would make us the lightest scooter in the market. So we would weigh merely less than 90 kilos, which would make us the lightest in the market. So this in return makes the scooter easy for even the women riders to ride.
Correct. It's easy to access.
Yeah, you must have seen women riders trying to handle the scooter because it's quite heavy for them also.
Correct.
So with the VLF, that would be again
it solves the problem for them.
Solves the problem, yeah.
I've also seen, I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, but EV models like these, they're not fast enough in the simple language. So what is how are you solving that problem?
So we need to understand first thing that EV as an industry, it's still evolving.
Correct.
So I would personally, if you ask me, I would look at an EV product or an EV scooter or an EV bike or an EV car for my commuting purpose. I would not.
Get into
at the moment.
Okay.
I would not prefer it for probably long 1,000 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, because then at the same time we need to build the infrastructure also in the country.
True.
So we need to have certain number of charging stations. We need to have that entire infrastructure ready so that range anxiety which is there,
correct,
that gets resolved. So that's one. And then secondly, on the speed part again, see if the faster you go, the quicker your battery is going to deplete.
Yeah. So you have to have that average.
Yeah, that balance has to be there. So I think at the moment, even in our case, we are focusing on the commuter segment.
Amazing. Yeah, and anyways, given the traffic and the situations, you can't go above
the average speed I would say in the city is somewhere around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. So which is a very standard way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward, I would like to ask you about if there are any misconceptions about both the segments and that you would like to talk about today.
I think the major misconception about particularly EV is that first is the range. The range anxiety has always been there, and I think that is going to be there for a certain period of time until the technology actually evolves. Second is that we've seen a lot of scooters and products catching fire, so that is again a concern amongst the consumers. Third, I think, is that a lot of startups are coming in this particular segment. I mean, it's good. It's always great to have competition. I think today we have more than 800 plus EV companies in India who are into two-wheelers. In our case, our battery is going to be manufactured locally. We have tied up with a local manufacturing, an unknown battery manufacturing company. Our chargers, our tires are going to be sourced locally. The rest of the parts, body parts would come in from the Thailand and the China factory.
Okay. Yeah. But that's good because as long as some products or some things are being manufactured here, there is a way and there is a long way to go for making it, and you have been one of the people who are taking that first step into making sure that there are a few items from that product which are completely made here, and then you are just kind of creating that cohesive ecosystem between other countries and India. You spoke about the government. Also, when you spoke about the charging stations and everything, what are the 3 points you would like to say that these are necessity from the other, the public sector to come, so that the private and public sector can work hand in hand in terms of EV for you?
I think the most important part over here is technology, transfer of technology. There are a lot of things happening on a global level. So it is very important for all the EV companies to really work together in particularly getting technology to India.
Okay.
So leaving aside the competition, because there are many EV giants today in the market, even in India.
Yeah.
So even they are getting the technology from somewhere. So it's about getting the right technology, and where the government comes into this picture is that supporting in terms of infrastructure development or policies or I mean, a lot of things need to be done from the government side also, which are happening. I'm not saying it's not happening, but still a long journey. So EV is something, if you look at the market currently, I would say it's just merely 5%.
Absolutely.
So if 100 two-wheelers are sold every month, out of which only 5 are electric. It's growing. It's growing at a rapid scale. So that will happen. So it has to be a collaboration between governments and companies, and everyone need to work together on that.
Absolutely. And I feel that in terms of the price point, let's say petrol prices, diesel prices are increasing, and then it just solves the problem for the daily commuters to use this option and also have the other bikes together. So I think that is one of the problems which is being solved. I'd like to ask you about what are the expansion plans for you? Which demographics, which areas you are thinking of expanding? Are there any people who are interested to collaborate with you to know more about what are the plans in your strategy for this company?
Yeah. So right now, we've already announced 2 brands as we discussed earlier. We are setting the dealership network. So both Brixton and VLF are going to be sold through our Motohaus dealer network. We are currently setting up the dealership networks in the major tier 1 and tier 2 and a few tier 3 cities. We plan to launch during the Diwali time. I mean, we would be announcing the launch dates pretty soon, but it's going to be somewhere in the Diwali time. By then, we want to at least cover these top 10-15 cities so that, once the products are launched in the market, the customers can immediately start going, visiting our Motohaus dealership network, start the deliveries of the products. The entire service network also is established so that, that confidence also gets there in the brand amongst the customers. Secondly, I would say that in terms of collaborations, we are really looking at young budding and entrepreneurs who would really want to start with their first business journey or something, where they can collaborate with us, take our Motohaus dealership in their particular location. And I think as a company, we would always be there to support every dealer, because we ourselves, I've been a dealer. I know what the pain points of a dealership is. So we want to make sure that every Motohaus dealership is a profitable or a viable dealership, and we want to make sure that everyone is happy working with us.
So the dealership system is also, like you said, that in terms of the Brixton model, you have kept price points which are not super bike costly, and not also like they are in an affordable luxury range. So likewise, for the dealerships, are you thinking at a like a price point which is good for the budding entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so we will have basically 2 dealership options. In the tier 3 cities, we'll have a boutique kind of a Motohaus dealership, which will only focus on the electric brand. So at moment we have VLF.
Correct.
So we'll have VLF boutique dealerships in the tier 3 cities, where the investment also would not be that high as compared. And then obviously in the tier 1, tier 2 cities, we'll have the entire Motohaus range of Brixton and VLF, where the investment would be somewhere on the higher side.
Okay.
I would not say on the higher side. Still, I mean, our entire dealership package as such is pretty accessible to everyone. It's not very high. Something which is acceptable, I would say.
So in terms of accessibility and in terms of the wider reach which you have, and you spoke about that these price points are going to be something which are very affordable for anyone to invest in. So how do you in this ensure that the quality and the international standards of Brixton and the EV venture are catered to? Because you are not just dealing with your sales network, but you have to be answerable to that also. So how do you balance that whole?
So our entire strategy is that we want to take baby steps in terms of our expansion, in terms of even the product range. We are not getting 10, 15 products. We don't want to have 50, 100 dealers immediately. We want to start the right way. We've seen what other companies, what strategies they've had in terms of pricing, in terms of their dealership expansion and everything. Taking bits and pieces from that, we've formulated our strategy. In terms of pricing, again, of course, we're going to be competitive. That's how our overall strategy has been.
But how do you stand out from the competitors? Like, what is that one thing which anybody who's willing to collaborate or even the customers should look out for?
I think we would be the first, Motohaus is going to be the first retail chain where you'll have EV and ICE both under the same roof.
That's true.
So we will be the first ones to do that. So what happens in this case from a business point of view, from a dealership point of view, the EV sales will take care of the day-to-day operations of the dealership, I would say. And then when the brands like Brixton, since it's a niche market basically, so I mean that would obviously be there, but then from a profitability perspective, the EV would take care of it. Yeah,
that's amazing. So, talking a little detailed about the EV models and their performances, what makes your model, especially the 300 and the 1200 cc's category and the EV segment, a compelling thing for Indian riders?
I think I'll talk about the EV first. So, product-wise, we selected the tennis because I think we have something which is not there currently in the market in terms of quality. I mean, I'm emphasizing quality all the time because that is something which is really lacking.
Correct.
In the EV commuter segment. Everyone is focusing more on the price. कौन कितना कम रखता है, competitive हो गया. So it was like earlier 1,50,000 they begin with, then they reduce the competition reduces the price, then immediately this particular brand reduces the price. Then what happens in this case, the quality gets hit.
Correct, yeah.
So the customers are not getting the quality. In our case, we really don't want to compromise on the quality. In fact, quality has been our major focus. Second is we want to give a decent range at the same time. So our scooter would have somewhere between 140 to 160 kilometers range on a single charge. Which also at some level clears the range anxiety thought also which a consumer has.
Correct.
Third would be the design. That would really stand out. Our design is something
it's very nicely done.
So Italians are basically known for the design.
Exactly.
So that exactly what comes in our VLF brand. So that is something which would really attract our target audience.
So we spoke about the Brixton's affordability. What is the affordability of this category? The EV category.
Okay. So if you see, we are localizing a few components, as I said, the battery, tires and the charger. This helps us to lower down the price. So I mean, I can't tell you the price of the product, but I can assure you that we would be in par with the competition, but at the same time offering a better quality.
Yeah. Nice. I like, the summary of this whole segment was that I really like his approach towards how public sector and private sector can come together and solve this issue, because it's not just his problem to solve, but here if they want to thrive or they want to grow, there has to be an equal support from the other side, and that's how each other will do that. I've also seen that a lot of EV bike companies are fighting with each other for competition or just trying to get the best customer possible. But rather than doing that, if we want to be the leading EV two-wheelers country, then we need to just come together like other countries and just create a problem statement and solve that issue, and then possibly think of a larger vision of just catering to other countries from us, right? So that is something, because we have the youngest workforce in the entire world, and if we utilize it in a right way. In the first segment, he rightly spoke about why employment is so essential for this particular segment, because we have that workforce. There are so many opportunities which can be created. There are a lot of issues which are happening around the job security, or people are not getting enough jobs, or they have the MBA degrees, they have the engineering degrees, but they're not getting employment. That is the biggest problem. But if Motohaus is trying to solve that problem, or if there is Brixton coming in and so many other solutions they are getting in, why can't others think about this in this particular area? Why can't they also think about this? So this is a matter of thinking more deeply about this issue. And also the larger vision for all this is, we are also under a situation where, if you've seen that there is flooding happening, EV is going to solve that problem in the long run, because we are not going to be using fossil fuel for consumption. There has to be something where we kind of replace fossil fuel with a lot of other options which are available. There is hydrogen, which is now currently being tested, so I'm sure they will think about getting that also as one of the categories. So this is something which is like a 50-year-old model that is going to really work out for everyone. So I personally urge that you need to watch this episode, not just for learning more about Brixton, VLF or Motohaus or anything. What he's trying to say is, this is a solution which they have come across after years and years of understanding the problem, understanding what customers are going through, understanding what is happening in our environment, and then coming to this conclusion. And this is really visionary of you to do that, and your family. So any final statement you'd like to give for this one?
Well, the final statement would be that I would request all the viewers to really watch the Motohaus space, because there's a lot that's going to happen. This is just the beginning for us, for Brixton, for VLF or Motohaus as a brand. We would be launching the products very soon in the coming festive season, and we have a lot of news that's going to come in with the launch of Motohaus. We have more brands that would follow soon under the Motohaus umbrella. A lot of products that would launch under Brixton, VLF. A lot of things that would happen, and I think what you rightly said, I would really agree to that. It's not just about selling. There are a lot of things that go into it. Benefiting how the society would benefit from it, from employment perspective, how the engineering new students would benefit from it, from practical perspective, because engineering colleges, I mean, they don't have those, they can't give the practical experiences, so which we can also collaborate.
Exactly.
Solving a lot of issues that are there in the industry. So I think, yeah, it's a long journey, but we are all geared up and excited for that.
आणि मला असं म्हणायचं आहे, आय एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विथ मराठी बिकॉज आवर होल सेगमेंट इज डन अँड आय वुड लाईक टू ॲड वन बिट ऑफ मराठी ओव्हर हिअर. आपण महाराष्ट्रात आहे आणि ह्या गोष्टी ज्या आपल्या आजूबाजूला होत आहेत किंवा ज्या कोल्हापूरमध्ये आपल्याला बघायला मिळत आहेत, त्या बाहेर कुठेच ही पॅशन, ही डेडिकेशन, हे जे विजन आहे ना, ते बघायला मिळेल. आणि कोल्हापुरामध्ये असं आहे की, करेक्ट मी इफ आय एम रॉंग, प्रत्येक एक ना एक तरी विजनरी बॉर्न झालेले आहेत. कोल्हापूरमधून खूप सगळे असे एक्झाम्पल सेट झालेले आहेत जे अख्ख्या भारताला नाही पण अख्ख्या जगाला एक दिशा देतात. सो आज आम्ही इथे आलो आणि ही संधी मिळाली कोल्हापूरमध्ये येऊन हा पॉडकास्ट करण्याची, ही आमच्यासाठी पण खूप मोठी गोष्ट आहे. बिकॉज युजली आम्ही ऐकत असतो, बघत असतो, एक इंडस्ट्रियल हब आहे कोल्हापूर आणि आधीपासून आहे. म्हणजे असं काही नाही आहे की नवीन काहीतरी आहे. पुणे जाणलं जात आहे, मुंबई माहिती आहे, पण कोल्हापूर इज द नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग. आणि इट हॅज बीन द बिग थिंग सिन्स अ व्हेरी लॉंग टाइम. फक्त आता कुठे तुम्ही पब्लिसिटी त्याची करायला लागलाय. आधी फार ग्राउंडेड होते, आता पब्लिसिटी ते करायला लागलेले आहेत.
नाही खरं आहे, म्हणजे तुम्ही व्हॉट यू सेड खरंच कोल्हापूर मध्ये सगळं आहे असं नाही, काही नाही असं नाही. इनफॅक्ट ऑलिम्पिक्स मध्ये आम्ही आहोत.
एक्झॅक्टली.
तुम्ही यू नेम दॅट आणि तिथं वी हॅव समवन, कोणतं कोल्हापूरचं तिथं आहेच की ज्यांनी काही ना काहीतरी केलेलं आहे. सो आय थिंक विथ दिस कोल्हापूरमध्ये खरंच वी वॉन्ट कोल्हापूर टू ग्रो, बिकॉज मी जन्मलो इथं, माझी फॅमिली इथलीच आहे, इथं स्कूलिंग झालंय माझं, सगळं इथंच झालंय. सो एक तो इमोशनल सेंटिमेंटल पण आहे विथ द सिटी, आणि विथ द सपोर्ट ऑफ द लोकल कम्युनिटी कोल्हापूर, आय थिंक कोल्हापूरमधनं भरपूर आणि नवीन मिरॅकल्स पण होऊ शकतात आणि होतीलच इनफॅक्ट.
एक्झॅक्टली.
वी लुक फॉरवर्ड टू दॅट.
आणि पुढे जाऊन असंच आम्हाला परत एक पार्ट 2 करायचं ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मिळेल, आणि पुढचं तुमचे काही ब्रँड्स येतील. आय एम गोइंग टू विश द व्हेरी बेस्ट, आणि आय विश दॅट युअर कंपनी ग्रोज अँड इट टचेस इवन मोर हाईट्स दॅन व्हॉट इट इज ऑलरेडी ॲट. आणि 1962 पासून जी ड्रीम तुम्ही बघत आहात, आपली अख्खी फॅमिली, ते पुढे तुम्ही घेऊन जाऊन त्याला अजून देशात नाही पण अख्ख्या जगामध्ये त्याचं नाव व्हावं, ही आमची सगळ्यांची इच्छा आहे. अँड दिस इज अ रॅप ऑन अनफिल्टर्ड कॉन्व्हर्सेशन्स, द कोल्हापूर एडिशन with Motohaus. And thank you, Tushar, for being an amazing guest.
Thank you so much.
And we had an amazing time. Thank you for all the hospitality.
Thank you so much.
The entire team had a great time in Kolhapur. So
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.